but I don't mind who's coming in or who's. That camera's very low. Let me just increase. That's better. I feel like it's showing too much. Anyway, I do not know who's going to come in because I haven't advertised it, so I might have no people and be talking to myself for half an hour. But hey ho, let me continue to talk to myself for half an hour. Right, what I'm going to talk about today is the subject of online bullying. Basically, what online bullying can be anything really. It could be somebody trolling another channel, somebody saying really derogatory comments about another channel, or just bullying. And like the most popular case I can actually bring up is the what's her name? Katie Price scenario. Katie Price is a UK influencer. If you check out her channel, you'll find out. And she has a disabled son called Harvey, who has several health conditions, including Prader-Willi syndrome, and is on the autistic spectrum. And there have been an awful lot of derogatory tweets about him. And Katie Price has been trying to basically do something about the online trolls, because basically it's kind of hard for her to listen to the derogatory comments that are said about her son, and him having to experience that. But moving on from that, it could come in shapes and forms. I remember doing a video last year with Carla from Real Chicks TV, and it was called I Too Ugly for YouTube. And I remember the comments that were made to Carla. You're a fat ugly pig. Why, you're too ugly to be on YouTube, and all those sorts of comments. And I thought to myself, well, if you're taking your time to actually hate on people in that way, what does it say about you as a person, I guess? So I thought, well, why don't I do a live stream this evening about creating, not hating? And I think if we look at the situation in the world right now, if we look at the situation with COVID, how many people have died, how many people are currently dying in India, our silly little, snidey little comments or observations really pale in significance. And the other thing is like, if you look at what's happening in Palestine, in Israel, and how many young kids and families are being split up or dying, and this kind of stuff sort of pales into significance. And I think now, in my view, is as good a time as any to start trying to trend this hashtag again, create not hate. The hashtag came about in London, UK, and it was about violent crime. It was then trended by Pet Monster, who created the Twitter tweet, create not hate, and that started circulating on YouTube. And I think, having watched something today, I thought, well, you know what? I think we need to get that trending again. So I'm on here, and if I have to speak to myself all evening, or however long I'm here, well, I'm going to start trending that hashtag. And I think what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to start making create not hate videos. So I'm going to go on a creative frenzy, which isn't too difficult to me to do, to go onto a creative frenzy. So that is what I'm doing. 4 years ago, I made a video, and it was about, I called it Create Not Hate. And basically it was around the time that London had been attacked. It was the Borough Market attack. Several people were injured and killed there. And I remember walking towards London Bridge Tube Station several days after the incident. And one of the things I remember more than ever was hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of post-it notes with positive messages on those post-it notes, like love to London and respect to London and all of this sort of stuff. And I remember being so inspired by those positive messages and seeing that despite the tragedies that had happened, despite all that, people were able to come together and unite and stand together as one nation because of the bombings. And I remember sitting there and going, what am I going to do? What am I going to do with all of those post-it notes, with all of those positive things on it? So I got myself into a creative state of mind, and I entitled the video Create Not Hate. It wasn't my best work, of course, because I just started editing, and it was about 4 years ago, and I wish I still had the footage, because I think I'd re-edit it again, because now I'm a much better editor, and I think I could basically make a more impactful statement. So what I did with the post-it notes was I put them in a kaleidoscope, and I remember the music and the kaleidoscope moved, and it was almost like a flower popping out with all of these positive messages. And I thought, gosh, this is interesting. And I thought this is a really powerful message to do this, and I just wish I could pick up where I left off with making an impactful video which talks about creating, not hating. And the thing is it takes more effort and more time to actually create than it does hate, I think. Well, sometimes I think it doesn't, but I think it does as well, because when you're creating, you have to think. When I think about making some of the videos I do, sometimes I might go out for hours and hours and hours and hours and filming and then put the edit together. And that takes a very, very long time. And I think that creativity takes a lot more than actually putting down a person. But the thing is that in the end, what you get from either, I guess it's an observation here, what you get from either when you create and not hate or not put people down, what are you getting? I'm getting that I've done this work and I'm passionate about it, and hopefully I can impact one person and give them a better day. And I've had comments on my videos where I've watched that video and it made me cry, or I watched your video and it reminded me of walks I used to do, or thank you for the effort that you put into your video. Thank you for the time and the care and the consideration you put into that video. And being creative and writing and thinking about creative concepts is sometimes you go off on a tangent, which I do, I'm tangential, but also what it also does is it teaches you that basically this is harder, but I'm of the belief that if you put good things out to the world, good things come back to you. And I've always thought that if you put bad things into the world, bad things are going to come back to you. And I felt quite strongly today. I was debating, shall I go live and talk about this, approach this subject, or shall I not? And then I thought, well, this is my channel. I can do what the heck I like here. So I thought, well, I'm going to log on. If I get one person watching or none, I'm going to do it anyway, and then hopefully people will watch it on the catch up. But again, it's hard to verbalize to people who are not in a secure place or have any sort of self-doubt how much damage people can do with negativity, how much damage they can do to an individual's confidence. And that's the thing. I don't think people understand that flippant comments do have an impact on people's confidence. I remember when I did that video with Carla, there were times as a kid and growing up, I was called ugly. Somebody else made a comment on a social media post and called me ugly. And luckily for me, I'm kind of like, do you know what? I'm me. And if I'm ugly, what the heck? Well, I'll live with it. I'll deal with it. I'll wake up with this face every morning, and you know what? I'll be happy with it. But other people who you put down may not be happy with themselves, may not be happy with the way they look, may not be happy with their lot in life, and you've just made their day 10 times better, 10 times worse. So I'm saying, why don't people create stuff instead of hating on others or bullying others? I remember a story, and I guess I don't like bullies. And I guess the reason why is this. When I was younger, 8 or 9, 10, 11, 12, when I was 12 years old, and I've told this story before, my father went missing, and 10 days later they found him dead. He had thrown himself in the river. I was 12 years old. And I remember going to school, and after a while, 3 girls decided that they were going to make it their mission in life to make my life hell. And I remember going to the school classroom, basically. And when I'd walk in the classroom, they used to line up. Hey, no, Steve, it's fine. I'm not paying attention. I'm just going to tell my story anyway. When I was at school, I had a line of girls who would literally line up. And when I was walking along the hallway, I got kicked the hell out of. They used to just kick and kick and kick me. And then the girls used to go, well, where's your father? Where's your father? Knowing full well what had happened. And for about 1.5 years, my life at school was hell. And I remember at one point, my classmates saw how much the bullying I was going through, and they decided to report it, and it came to an end. Several years later, I was quite a tough cookie as well, but with a crowd of girls, I couldn't handle it. Several years later, I was in my hometown at a youth club disco. I was 17 years old. And this girl walked in, one of my bullies. And she was all alone. And I thought, you know what? This is my time to confront her about her behaviour. So I walked up and I said, you bullied me when I was at school. And you treated me like crap. I suggest you take yourself out of this building now and don't ever come back here. She looked at me and said, I don't know you. I said, yes, you do. Take yourself out of here now. So she walked off. And I thought to myself, finally, I was in a position where I could stand up to that bully, and actually she turned around. And there've been several instances in my life where I've been bullied. And I know that for some people, it's so much hatred in the world. I really don't think it will ever go away. It's so sad. Yeah. The problem is that I don't understand if sometimes this creative forum of YouTube, why people choose to be so, I don't know, so horrid and so narrow-minded that they don't think about the words they say. And if you say venomous, horrible things about people, like I said, what does that say about you? What does it say about you and your character and personality? And I think the thing is, we're all human, yes, and we all probably take the Michael out of we take the Michael out of each other, and we might take the Michael in a private forum out of each other, but bringing it onto a public forum, and then basically, and I wouldn't I wouldn't sort of be bad mouthing people who were disabled or any of that sort of stuff. No. But I think that I sit here and I wonder, why do people do it? Why do people basically be nasty to each other? Why? You know, what possesses you? And they either do it because they're insecure themselves, or there's a sense of jealousy there. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Steve, I don't know what your thoughts are about this. I just think that I would much rather use this forum to express my creativity, to express my creative self, not to put down, bully, belittle people and make them feel, or attempt to make them feel insecure and down. I don't think that's. It might be that some people think that this particular platform is for that outlet. However, I don't. And maybe that's me. That, you know, I don't know. Maybe that's me. I don't. But yeah. So that's the bullying out of the way, and in the interests of creating not hating, as I so put it, I'm going to see if I can do something here. I don't know if I can. Let me see if I can. Bookmark this tab. How do you add a bloody... Where is it? I've got that. Oh, here. Right, okay. So let me do something actually. And now for something completely different. You know I'm a bit random. So we are random. So I'm going to do something completely different. So let me just type in something. Okay. So in the interest of creativity, and if I can work it out like you do, we're going to do something completely different. So we're going to share the screen, and we're going to go to Chroma tab, and we're going to go here, this one here, share. And then what I'm going to do, if you bear with me for a second, is I'm going to put this on, and then hopefully go back to here, and then that should be a screen. Oh, hopefully you can hear me. Right, okay, skip ad, okay. I hope you can hear that, people. Let me turn that up slightly. Okay, can you hear that? Okay, well, let's do a bit of music, shall we? Hope you can hear this. Making my way downtown, walking fast, faces past, and I'm homebound. That sounded rubbish. Staring blankly ahead, just making a way through the crowd. I need you, I miss you, and now I wonder if I could fall into the sky. Do you think time would pass me by? 'Cause you know I'd walk 1,000 miles if I could just see you tonight. It's always times like these when I think of you, and I wonder if you ever think of me. 'Cause everything's so wrong and I don't belong living in your precious memory. I need you, I miss you, and now I wonder if I could fall into the sky. Do you think time would pass me by? 'Cause you know I'd walk 1,000 miles if I could just see you tonight. And I don't wanna let you know I'll drown in your memory. I don't wanna let this go. I don't. Making my way downtown, walking fast, faces past, and I'm homebound. Staring blankly ahead, just making a way through the crowd. Still need you, still miss you, and now I wonder if I could fall into the sky. Do you think time would pass us by? 'Cause you know I'd walk 1,000 miles if I could just see you. If I could fall into the sky, do you think time would pass me by? 'Cause you know I'd walk 1,000 miles if I could just see you. If I could just hold you tonight. So that was Vanessa Carlton, 1,000 Years. It wasn't my best singing attempt ever, but you know what? You gotta try, haven't you? You gotta give it a try. Hopefully you got to hear that sound. So basically, Eagle, what I have been talking about is the subject of create not hate and about online bullying and why people seem to deem it necessary to put people down. So that's what I'm talking about. And then I thought I would discuss the fact that I want to bring back to surface the create not hate tag which Pet Monster brought to life several years ago. So I want to give it a little bit of a renaissance in this period of the stuff with COVID, the stuff that's going on in Israel and Palestine, and the fact that people who bully and put people down do not understand creativity at all. So Steve, Steve, just so I go off that subject right now, how are you doing? I know that you've had a lot of issues with your health recently, so I just wanted to know how that was. How are you doing? How's things going? You're still alive. Well, that's a good thing. You're still alive and breathing. But apart from that, how the devil are you? How the devil are you, Steve? Okay, I'm going to await response, but the chat catch-up is quite slow on here. I'm testing for lung transplant. Good grief, that's massive. How is that all going? That must be exhausting. God, that's a hard one. You have been going through the walls a bit, you haven't you, Steve, to be honest with you. Just a quick question. To the people who are watching, Eagle and Steve at the moment. Have any of you been bullied, encountered bullying online or otherwise? And how have you dealt with it? And what would you say how would you deal with bullying in a creative way? Those are going to be my questions to the people in at the moment. How would you deal with bullying any way, shape or form? How would you deal with it if you were being bullied online? What would your answer be? I know a lot of people would say ignore it, but how would you create your way out of that? So what would be things that you would do to create your way out of the bullying? I laugh and ignore. That's a good thing. So those are the two questions I've posed. How would you deal with online bullying? And what do you think that you could do to deal with it? And what would be ways that I'd laugh and ignore, and if they persist, get even. Now the problem is, Steve, that is necessarily, although I did say that at school I did get even with my bully, is it necessarily the best thing to do, especially online, to get even with somebody who bullied you? Is that actually the best thing to do, or is it to ignore that online bully, delete, and actually do something creative instead? So those are the things that kind of I'm posing that question. Would you just delete them and think I make real bad and post? Yeah, but Steve, this is not a good thing to do, is it? I think sometimes revenge, and again, I think sometimes that bad behavior does not actually help. It doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't erase bad behavior. So revenge or bad behavior doesn't erase bad behavior. Because it is online. Okay, let's see. Because it's online, all you can really do is show a bit of kindness. And I think that's it. It's just me sort of sitting here tonight and going, people who are watching this, let's be kind to each other, is what I'm saying. Let's not put... Oh, that's my phone going off. I don't know why my phone's going off. I've been working some long hours again. And I told them I wasn't going to pick up the phone this evening. I know for me, but it's better than violence, yeah. Okay, so I know for me that basically sometimes I think that revenge has a nasty habit of backfiring. Does it actually help with sometimes with online bullying? I don't think so. I think that as I was surprised to find out that some bullies are actually men and women of my age. That was quite scary, that we have adults who bully other people. That is scary. And the other thing is the mental health effects of adult and child bullying on the people who are bullied. And I think that mental health implication for those people can be quite traumatic. I know that bullying can make you feel your self-confidence can go to the floor. Bullying can really have a massive impact on your mental health, and it can be a battle for some to get out of it. So for me, I'm being very lucky. I haven't really been bullied online. I've been called a few names, and I wouldn't determine that as being bullied. But I think there are some people, like I quoted Katie Price. Her son has been bullied in the past, and I think she's had a lot of trouble with online trolls, and I think that she's been fighting it because she felt like strongly about it and did something. Steve, and so Keith has said, Steve, but really there is not a lot you can do with online bullying and hate. Absolutely. And I think this is the problem. I think sometimes people can be like, there are some people who will, the keyboard warriors as you call them, who will be behind keyboard screens and they'll just write what the hell they want and they don't care about the implications or circumstances. And there are people who will basically go online and bitch and say nasty comments about people. But sometimes doing the right thing doesn't always work. I mean, look what's going on in the Middle East. Right, okay. I'm not going to get involved in that Middle East political discussion because I think there's a lot of stuff that is going on there which is actually a political kind of quagmire. And I just hope that both countries, both Palestine and Israel, can come up with a peaceful resolution before more innocent people are killed on either side. That would be my sort of takeaway from the current situation in the Middle East. But again, the situation with bullying is quite scary for me because I found that some of the people who hide behind keyboards and screens are women of men of my age, and some people who bully others showing their face online are men and women of my age. And I don't understand the reasons why people see the need to do that. So what I'm going to do is, I really feel like I need to create like hell and not hate, and make that tag trend again, really, and just put that everywhere. Remember to create, not hate. And Pet Monster, if you ever come back and watch this, I've kind of revived and swiped the create, not hate title for this video, and I will put the hashtag in. I have given you due credit because I think you deserve that. Yeah, so that is my general observation about bullying. That's what I've got to say about bullying. And like, you know, I am excited. Hopefully I'm putting the final preparations into fruition at the moment. I am having a live stream next Sunday evening, 1 a.m. on Monday morning UK time, 8 o'clock Eastern. Yeah, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. I am going to be doing a live stream with special guests, and we are going to be talking about my favourite subject, am I too old for YouTube, with basically several panel members and a structured Q&A where I ask them questions, they provide evidence, answers, and we talk about editing and creative things. So that's going to be coming up next Saturday. But sometimes, okay, so Steve has said, I see like this, there is just a way, too many people stupid on this, they can't help it, it's just the way it is until the second coming of our Lord. It'll never stop. Yeah, it is it is it is a difficult one to avoid and get over bullies. I don't think people understand that harsh comments can really impact and hurt people. But I want to kind of do stuff that, despite all this bullying and negativity, that this platform of YouTube can be this incredibly, incredibly positive, vibrant place where people who are creative can actually create the hell out of all the hateful, spiteful comments by making wonderful and beautiful things. And if I get absolutely hardly no subscribers to my channel, or 100, you know what? I would rather have one person watch me and I have a positive impact in their life than have 10 people watch me where I've just spent half an hour putting somebody down, or I've gone behind my keyboard and I've written horrid words about somebody. I would rather have a comment where I said a positive thing about someone and that's made their day. That's my goal. And I think the reason I started my YouTube channel, I guess in the beginning, was to tell stories to my great niece. It turned into a kind of passion project of going around London, and it's coming to, I don't know what it's coming to now. It's coming to so much more now, so much more stuff on here, where I think of this channel as my creative sanctuary, my place where I can put my ideas, put my creative thoughts, but not at the expense of other people. That I use this platform to uplift and not put down people. And that's a difficult one because sometimes it is so tempting. Oh, you know, but I'm not here to put down people. I don't want to do that. Let's have a look. Oh, it's a great series. So Eagle is talking about, have you watched The Chosen on YouTube, Steve? And Steve said, not really. Eagle said it's a great series, and Steve is too busy watching news channels. So Eagle, as you've put that down, The Chosen, what is The Chosen about? So as you brought it up, and I'm on the stream, and I'm going to digress because you've brought this subject on, what is this Chosen about, Keith? That would be my question to you. So if you could answer that, that would be fantastic. So come on, Keith, give me an answer to that comment. It's wonderful, this YouTube stuff, isn't it? Just think, like 5 years ago, we couldn't do a live stream where we could do this. So tell me about this Chosen, Keith. Come on, give me an answer. Yeah, I don't get too addicted to the news channels. It's not the best, is it? So I'm just waiting for this answer from Keith about The Chosen. I've not seen The Chosen at all. So I'm going to wait to see what Keith says about this series. I don't know if anybody else has watched it. I've been watching this. I watched Line of Duty, which I was really disappointed about. I was so mad. Steve, sorry about this. I interject. There was a series in the UK telly called Line of Duty, and I watched every single episode, and I was like, right, who the heck is H, right? And basically what happened was I tried to find who the heck is H, and basically the person who was H, this sort of crime network member, was not the person I expected it to be, and it was all crap. Okay, so basically this thing is about Jesus Christ, about the life of Jesus Christ. There is an app on Android. Okay, so that's what The Chosen is about. Right, what other series is, okay, I'm changing the subject again. What other TV series are people enjoying watching at the moment? As I said, I watched Blooming Line of Duty. I got so excited about it. It was like, right, I watched all the series. I went back and watched all the bleeding series. I was like doing it, yes, Darwin Digital. It was absolutely a poor ending. I was like, what? Because I was like, there's got to be, you know what? There has got to be a season 7 of bloody Line of Duty. Steve Essex, just to fill you in, Line of Duty is a UK drama series which is about cops investigating corrupt cops. It is a little bit far-fetched, but it is hilarious, and it's actually a very, very addictive television. And I watched every possible program of it. I watched I watched a whole lot, so I watched 6 series. I went back and back again, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Got to season 6, and then I was like, okay, seasons, and then it got to 6, and I was going, oh, this is really good. They're keeping it. There's going to be an hour and a half at the end. The last one's going to be an hour and a half. It wasn't an hour and bleeding half. It was an hour, and the ending was absolutely crap. Absolutely crap. So I was like, oh, let down. One of my other favorite series at the moment is I like Luther, which I thought was brilliant. The other thing, if you can get this in America, is The Fall. Oh my God, that is one of the best, scariest television series I've ever watched. That's got Gillian Anderson, who plays a detective who is on secondment from the Met Police goes into the Irish Police, and she is pursuing a serial killer who is married and is a grief counsellor, and that is I like it. It's very addictive, watchable TV. And I think there's another one called Snowfall or something on BBC One, and that series is based in LA, and it is about the drug supply. A gangster, a young guy who lives in LA, who lives on the projects, who becomes one of the chosen people to sell drugs, and he is employed by the USA to sell drugs, but the drugs are being bought in from Nicaragua, I think, and it's sort of arms for drugs and all of that sort of stuff. So it is interesting. I think it's based on a true story of I think it's about Contra arms and all that sort of stuff. So it's very, very interesting. But going back to The Fall, not going back to Line of Duty, I was so disappointed. I was like, oh, that was just just not good. That was just not good at all. Ugh. Anyway, on that note, it's 1947 and I've been streaming for about 40 minutes. I have another exciting, busy day tomorrow. But I'm thinking that I might stream on, no, I am streaming on Friday or Saturday now. Oh yeah, the next stream is potentially on Saturday evening. And so basically tune in on Saturday evening at 9 o'clock because that's what time I'm streaming. And so basically, if you want to come and watch my stream at 9 o'clock on Saturday night, which is 4, 5, 6, or 9:30 on Saturday, sorry, that's what time it is. And I think it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's 4:30 in the UK. Hello, I just got to time for it to end. Yes, I'm doing another live stream, Joe Buddy, and I am doing it on Saturday at 9:30. And I can't remember what I'm talking about. I think it's video editing or something like that. And hopefully my lovely friend Keith will come in and have a conversation with me. Right, everybody, thank you ever so much for watching, and I will see you again. And good night, Joe Buddy, and thank you for coming in.